Jimmy Butler in the first round of the playoffs showed everybody in the world why they call him Jimmy Buckets. He just had one of the best playoff performances of all time while beating the 1 seed Milwaukee Bucks in just 5 games as the 8 seed. In the final 2 games of the series, Jimmy alone scored 98 points. He shot almost 60% for the entire series while scoring more than anybody. The stats are crazy, but what he's actually doing on the court is even crazier. From scoring 22 straight points in Game 4 on his way to a 56-point game to hitting one of the wildest shots I've ever seen to force overtime in Game 5. Through all the injuries Miami dealt with, there were no excuses and nothing at all was going to stop Jimmy from closing out the series. The only way to describe his performance is unbelievable, but the playoffs are just getting started. In Game 1, Jimmy dominated with a stat line of 35 points, 11 assists, 5 rebounds, and 3 steals. From start to finish, he did everything for the Heat offense, especially down the stretch. Giannis got hurt in the first quarter after a charge attempt by Kevin Love, which would turn out to be huge because it would force Giannis to miss the rest of this game and the next 2. But Miami wouldn't walk away injury-free either. Diving for a ball, Tyler Herro broke his hand and will most likely be out for the rest of the playoffs. Tyler even tried to hit a 3 with that broken hand. On top of it, their point guard Kyle Lowry is coming off the bench with a minutes restriction. And as we'll see later on, the injuries don't stop there. Game 2 was the only win for the Bucks, which came out of nowhere, especially being the first game that Giannis missed. For the Bucks, it was by far the best game they played all series from start to finish. Everybody that got minutes played really well. It was the exact definition of a team win. I mean, they were up 30 in the first half. This game was never close. Jimmy Butler had his lowest scoring game of the series with 25, but the Bucks were just playing too well. The series is now tied 1-1, but the complete opposite would happen just the next game. In Game 3, Jimmy was back at it with 30 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. This was all while not even playing in the fourth quarter after he got hurt. But on top of Butler's big game, 5 other players for the Heat scored in double figures. Everybody got in on this win, and I mean everybody. Even bank robber Duncan Robinson came in and dropped 20 points in 20 minutes while shooting 80%. The only downside to this game was Victor Oladipo tearing his patella tendon in the fourth quarter. Just when Victor was finding a role coming back after his first injury, he is now dealing with another. So I truly wish nothing but the best for Victor Oladipo. Regardless, another huge win to bring the series 2-1. Jimmy Butler was having a great series the first 3 games, but Game 4 is where he really put on the backpack. He had 56 points and 9 rebounds while shooting almost 70% and had just 1 turnover. He had one of the highest single-game scoring performances in playoff history and did it as efficiently as you possibly can. He scored 22 of the Heat's 28 first-quarter points. You knew it right then it was going to be a statement game for Jimmy. But from there, the game only got more exciting. With 7 minutes left in the game, the Bucks are up 11. From there, the Heat would start to tear them apart, getting stop after stop and converting on the other end. Then, while having all the momentum in the world, the Heat get a steal and Jimmy Butler gives them the lead with just over 3 minutes left in the game. But with just a minute and 20 seconds left on the clock, down 2, Jimmy hits one of the biggest shots of the series.
Butler sets up on 3.
And to make it even better, just a few seconds later, he came down the court and did this.
Long shot, good!
With just 1 minute left in the game, Jimmy hits back-to-back threes, giving the Heat a 3-point lead. But after even more stops on defense and some extra free throws to cap off his 50 ball, the Miami Heat are now up 3-1 over the 1 seed Milwaukee Bucks. This was one of the best single game performances I've ever seen in my life, let alone the fact that it's in the playoffs against the 1 seed. The thing that really makes this game stand out for me even more is because Jimmy followed it with another one of the best performances I've ever seen. Game 5 was an extension of what he did in Game 4. He finished the game with 42 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Jimmy Butler literally did everything. It was close the whole game up until the end of the third quarter. Miami brought it to within 10 with 5 minutes left in the game, and Jimmy Butler showed why he's one of the best basketball players in the world. But even then, it still wouldn't be enough. Down 4 with 20 seconds left, Gabe Vincent hits a huge 3 to make it a 1-point game. After a missed free throw from Jrue Holiday, the Heat now have a chance to tie it up, and I'll let the clip speak for itself.
Over the top to Butler, up and in! Jimmy Butler!
The Heat would slowly beat them out in overtime, even though the Bucks would hang in there. That was until Grayson Allen got the ball with a chance to win it and didn't know how much time was on the clock. That is a rough way to lose your season. Giannis and Middleton both had over 30, and the ball somehow ended up in the hands of Grayson Allen. But regardless, not only did the 8 seed Miami Heat take down the team with the best record in the NBA, they did it on their own floor. This also makes back-to-back games where Miami was able to come back from over 10 points in the fourth quarter and still win. It helps when you have one of the best closers in the NBA in Jimmy Butler. He was having an incredible series and really caps it off with 2 of the best games I've ever seen back to back. He's known to leave it all out on the floor during the playoffs, and he's doing just that. After all the drama that went on with the Heat during the season, they're still proving people wrong even with all the injuries the team's dealing with. From his finishing ability to being able to shoot off the dribble, it really is almost impossible to guard, and since he's driving so much, his numbers are incredibly efficient. He makes big plays whenever he needs to and does everything a star player is supposed to do. Also, I have to mention how good Erik Spoelstra's coaching was. Everything was ran perfectly while the Bucks head coach is probably on his way out. That was easily one of the best series performances of all time. They play the Knicks in the next round, which is another totally winnable series, and this isn't the end of Jimmy Butler's run either. He's only getting started. I'm super close to 1,000 subscribers, so please subscribe to make my day and for more basketball content just like this.